And I'm here at the Miami Boat Show with
Ben
Mr.
Copenhafer.
Ben Copenhafer. How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you? Good to see you.
Half of Ben Copenhafer.
Yeah.
The other half is back in
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. This is you, right?
Yeah.
This is part of you.
That's right, yep.
What's
Spotzero, reverse osmosis, yep.
So the other side of your business is...
Elite Marine Air Conditioning and Southern Marine Supply, all in Fort Lauderdale.
That's right. So Spotzero is basically what?
Spotzero focuses on water purification systems for the marine leisure industry. So we do traditional desalination systems or water makers. We pretty much created a new category with Spotzero water purifiers, so using the same reverse osmosis principles as desalinators to purify dock water. And then a few years ago we pushed the envelope even further and did an all-in-one double pass, so we have water makers, a water maker married to a water purifier, and we got a patent for that as well. So
Spotzero is almost, it is the name.
yeah,
It's the Kleenex of
it's
this.
the clean. Yes, that's correct. Yep.
When did this start?
2007.
Wow, so within 10 years you've done,
Yeah,
well, 15.
it was all mostly organic, word of mouth type penetration initially. Yeah.
Yeah, because when everybody says they need something, a desalinator on board,
Yeah.
Spot Freeze always, well, it's
Yeah.
not desalination, it's...
Well, again, we do both. So we still do the water makers, so desalination, and then yeah, Spotzero is the name of the company, and it also is one of the products.
Ah, right.
So
okay.
it is a little confusing there. And then so we call our water makers Sea Exchange by Spotzero to reduce the confusion a touch. Next time you start a product, make sure you name the company first. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, dear. And you're based in Fort Lauderdale?
Fort Lauderdale, yeah.
In one of the most modern facilities
Yeah.
in Lauderdale, right?
Yep. Yep, and we just expanded to a new location just down the street at 20,000 square
More?
feet. Yeah. Yeah, so keep growing, and we just ordered a new 4-axis mill. We're going to start doing our own machine work for our new product here. So yeah.
Bloody hell. Cool. All right, which product should we look at first?
We can take a look at the water makers.
Okay, let's pop over here.
So yeah.
Okay, which one are we looking at?
So we're going to start with our semi-automatic system, Sea Exchange SX3. Semi-automatic because the user will still do a little bit of adjustment. And then once the adjustment for the pressure has been made to get to the rated flow production, they can pretty much walk away. They can turn it off remotely. System will automatically flush itself when the system's not running to keep the water from becoming stagnant inside of it. And yeah, easy to use, simple operation.
It's so small.
Yeah.
So how much?
So yeah, this series here will do anywhere from 600 gallons a day up to 2,200 gallons a day. So same core base unit, just going to be more membranes to get to the higher capacity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not currently showing the membranes. There's some examples over there, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
We can just stack the membranes right here on the back. And then we have our fully automated system over here.
Oh, so this doesn't have an adjustment.
Right. So this will be press the button and walk away. It does all the adjustments for you. In fact, you can even set it to make a certain prescribed volume of water or run for a certain amount of time and it'll shut itself off. So this is for the user that doesn't really want to go into the engine room when they're underway. Very popular in sport fishing boats because engine rooms, they're often running in rough seas. Engine rooms are a little bit tighter, and the captain can control it from the bridge while he's driving the boat. Or the mate can focus on rigging baits when...
And the maintenance on this is what?
Similar. So pre-filters, which is just going to remove sediment from the seawater.
Uh-huh.
And then that's going to vary depending on how many suspended solids are in the feed water. So if you're cruising in blue water, they're going to last longer. If you're in the ICW and it's churned up and muddy and windy that day, it might not last quite as long.
And the basic principle is what? Just filters, filters, filters?
Well, we're technically only filtering the water on the way in, and then we're using reverse osmosis membranes to extract water, if you will. So filtration is more like a dead end, where it's just grabbing things that are floating in the water, whereas reverse osmosis is removing things that are dissolved in the water. So think if you took a glass of water and you poured salt and pepper in it, and you shook it up.
Yeah.
You could get the pepper out with a coffee filter, but the salt would not come out because it's now been dissolved in the water. So that's when you would need reverse osmosis, distillation, something like that. Reverse osmosis for yachts is the most practical way to
And
remove.
do you add salt and stuff back in?
No. We do have a pH neutralizer, which adds, I guess, a little bit of calcium carbonate, but it's not
Otherwise,
much at
it
all.
tastes good
Yeah,
coming out.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Who does your engineering? Because everything you have is so well.
Yeah, so we have
made.
a great team of engineers. We've got 4 engineers in-house. They're all into boating. They all fish on boats. They do recreational boating, so they know the importance of ease of maintenance. They know the importance of serviceability. In fact, one of our head engineer, his father's a sport fish captain that has one of our products, so he can see it firsthand and get feedback.
It's so
that
true.
way.
There are so many products in the marine industry designed by people who have never stepped foot on a
Correct.
boat.
Yep.
So these are really,
Yep.
yeah, by boaters for boaters.
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
All right, what have we got on this side?
This side's all of our water purification systems.
Filter, okay. Okay. Looks very similar to the other one. Okay.
You're right, it does. Because
So-
it's also reverse osmosis. But this is for dock water, and
Is this stuff coming out of the
the hose spigot. Yep.
pedestal?
Pedestal. Yeah.
Right,
That's right.
okay.
Fresh water from a hose is technically drinkable according to the EPA, but it does have all
Flint.
kinds of other things in it. But
Flint, Michigan, that's all we need to say.
Yeah, Flint, Michigan,
Always
correct,
filter
yeah.
your water.
So, our primary reason for doing reverse osmosis isn't drinking, though; it's to wash the boats down. So, even fresh water coming out of our spigot into our homes, etc., into our docks, has dissolved solids in the water. Like I told you before, dissolved solids are difficult to get out of the water. You cannot use a filter to get dissolved solids out of the water. You have to use a different technology like reverse osmosis or distillation. So that's what we do here is we take the feed water, let's say, in Fort Lauderdale, 200 parts per million. We're going to remove 90 to 95% of.
200 parts per million. Can you see it looks dirty, or is it clear?
You wouldn't be able to see the dissolved solids unless they were like organics, like tannins, or not like tannins, but tannins or organics. Because sometimes dissolved solids are, once they're dissolved at a low ratio like that, it's difficult to see it. Yeah. If you evaporated the water, or if the water evaporated on a surface, you would see the spots though. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any restrooms in here?
Oh, there.
Right out there, yeah. One of us is a liar.
That'd be a great moment
Yeah,
that
yeah.
way.
So yeah, we use reverse osmosis because fresh water is a precious resource. We recover as much percentage of that water as we can. So reverse osmosis is cross flow.
Yeah, I've got one in the house, and it's really inefficient.
Yeah,
For
it probably dumps about 50% down the
50%,
drain.
yeah.
Yeah.
A
So
water bill
we're trying to recover about 70 to 90% of the water that goes into the system. So by the time we're discarding the water, it's no longer good water. So yeah.
And so this single-handedly saves hours.
Many hours. Yeah. The bigger the boat, the more hours you save.
And is it also like reducing crew, or is it just making their life easier?
Yeah, the larger boats, I'd say at 40 meters and above, you probably could start thinking about eliminating a crew member. Not saying we're trying to create unemployment, but yeah, it does get to the point where there might be one less deckhand needed on the boat. Also, the impact on plastic bottle reduction. Think about a crew of 10 or 20 or 30 drinking bottled water all day long. Where now they can just...
That should be plastic bottles should just be eliminated on boats,
correct.
Regardless.
Yeah.
So, because you can have...
Well, this is
much
essentially
better
a miniature water bottling plant, because Dasani and Aquafina, they all use the same exact technology, except they waste a lot more of the water, and then they bottle it in plastic, ship it around the country, and so it's a very inefficient way to do it when the consumer already has their own water bottling plant on the boat.
Oh God, are you a boater?
Yeah, absolutely.
So is this why you came up with?
Yeah, initially it was a friend of mine was a first mate on a boat called the Seabird, 105-foot Broward, back in 2007. I said, he was complaining about water spots. I said, why don't you use one of those softeners? He said, because they don't work. And I said, well, why would people buy them then? And he says, because there's nothing else. And then we started doing some research, and I was like, oh, we're already using reverse osmosis for seawater. Why are we not doing it for freshwater? So that's what we've done there.
Good Lord, cool. And then these are just bigger versions.
Yeah, so this is a larger version for super yachts, and then just like the
still not very big.
Yeah, very compact.
And then how many gallons does that do?
That'll do 6,000 gallons a day.
How big are the tanks on super yacht? Is that like a full tank of water?
Could be, yeah. 40. Some, the expedition yachts seem to have a lot more because they use some of that for ballast as well. So, yeah, it's quite a vast,
Good God. So yeah, every boat should have one.
Yeah, or two.
Water.
So we see the larger customers want redundancy, so they do duplex. They want 2 water makers, 2 Spotzeros, and essentially this, just like in the water makers, we made a fully automated version here of the double pass system, and then so this is no touch. You don't have to do anything. The system just runs automatically once it sees water is going to it. In fact, you can run water from your water maker to here, and it will automatically determine that it's water maker water and re-purify it at a higher recovery percentage.
How does it do that?
We have an algorithm in our software that checks on which line it's getting water from, and essentially
so
just
it's not
determines
monitoring how dirty it is. It's just
correct. Yeah, just
working
monitoring
out
the
where
source.
it's coming from. Okay.
Yep.
Because that would be amazing if you could get it coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, this is so dirty. It only needs this much.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, we do a little bit of that, but we're just judging the source. So if it's desalinated RO water, we can recover almost 90% of the water. So what we've done here in the middle is we've combined our fully automatic water maker and our fully automatic Spotzero into one double pass system. So this is hugely popular now.
Okay, we're going to come back over here
Yeah.
now. Hold on, let me... Okay, so this is for...
So this is going to be water purification for dock water, just like our other Spotzero water purifiers. But say you didn't have room inside of your boat for our built-in systems that we talked about earlier. You now have a much more compact mobile solution. We've been making mobile units for about 10 years, but they're historically much larger. So this
you put it on the dock?
Came out of necessity because I have a smaller boat, and I was having trouble using my own product because it was too big. It was kind of more optimized for the sport fish and above market. So we came up with this package. We spent about 1.5 years on engineering doing this.
It is
yeah.
Billet as you guys, billet aluminum.
Billet aluminum, or wouldn't you say aluminium?
Yeah.
And then we anodize the aluminum as well. We use the same exact, and you'll recognize this, feed as a Yeti cooler. So
what do they call those?
What's that?
What do they call the feeds?
They're like the Yeti
Claw
has trademark barefoot or bear claw. Yeah. So we're not going to use their trademark, but yes, it essentially grabs the deck and will not slide around the deck. Comes with wheels, however, if you know you're going to use it on a deck, you can just lift up, remove this screw and pop the wheels
Wow.
right out.
So when this is operating, is it like?
No,
or
very
is it-
smooth. So it's a staged pump in there. There's not any pistons or anything like that.
Oh, so it's just constant.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, multi-stage pump. You can almost, you'd have to almost put your hand on it to know it was running. Other cool thing, like you already saw, we have the handles. So
It is the Yeti cooler.
yeah, and then we have an easy-to-use digital display. It'll tell you about 10 hours before your filter needs to be changed to give you a heads up that you need a filter in about 10 hours. And then at 100 hours, it'll tell you to go ahead and change the filter. So you're going to make about 10,000 gallons of water before you even need to think about a filter, which for a center console or a boat like that is going to be significant.
So pricing, one thing I'd
So yeah, that's really exciting too. Our previous mobile units were in the 6,500 to 6,800 price mark. Again, it's a big number. It made it unreachable for a lot of smaller boaters. This is $34.99. So $3,500. It's
and you
it's just-
typically only have one. You don't need.
yeah, you would just need one.
because you're just day sailors.
Right,
Coming back
right.
and forth. Okay.
So yeah, you could leave it on your dock, wash the boat, fill your tank, and then also you could take it with you as well. And that's why we made all soft edges, no visible plumbing showing. It's all internal.
Yeah.
And again, won't slide around your dock. So
How heavy is it?
it's heavy because you got a lot of water in there,
Fucking hell.
and you
Jeez.
probably don't. But you know,
Have you screwed it down?
no. If you had it down on your, if you had it down by your feet, it would be a little bit more of a comfortable position.
Okay, yeah. You definitely need the wheel on it.
Yeah. So it's like, think a cooler full of beer.
Go on, I'm sure you can lift it, can't you?
Yeah. It's a tough angle.
Thank you. That's a tough angle.
Like I was saying, it's like a cooler full of beer. It's heavy, but it's worth it, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, we would recommend, you know, maybe a two-person lift to get it on and off a boat. But yeah, you could leave it.
And that's
park
got
at your
water
dock.
running through it now.
It's
Or is
that's
it
why
dry?
part of the reason it's heavy. It's all water membranes. There's a pump in there,
Oh,
a filter
okay.
in there. Yeah. Plus the aluminum blocks are billet
It's so
aluminum.
good. It just doesn't look like anything complex.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
really is.
Yeah, we've simplified it quite a bit with the machining work we're doing here.
Ooh, what's next for you guys? What else are you going to invent?
Lots and lots of big systems for bigger boat builders, over 200-foot boats.
Oh, bigger.
Yeah. So yeah, we enjoy doing that. We love the engineering piece of it.
Yeah. All made in America.
All made in America. Yeah.
Made in Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Are you the only things that are made in Fort Lauderdale?
Might, possibly.
Everything's just sold
Yeah.
and fitted.
ACR Electronics makes their EPIRBs up there.
Oh, okay.
I just drove by them. What else do we have? I'm sure we have a bunch more. I just can't think of.
Yeah, there are many. Cool. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Happy hour.